I grew up in the land of lutefisk and lefse, where the women were strong, the men were good-looking, and the children were all above average. Eventually, to understand how privileged I was when I received my first true Minnesota language lessons, thanks to Garrison Keeler and the Prairie Home Companion. I was blessed in many ways. They teach humility, they teach kindness, they teach self-sufficiency, appreciation of nature, and of course they teach you to have an accent like they did in Fargo, the movie, but it's still a great place to grow up. Growing up, I perceived what it meant to be a faithful Christian from my parents, who practiced their faith both formally and informally. Formally meaning attending church, participating in church's activities. I had a row of perfect attendance pins from Sunday school to prove it. Daily devotions and taking on a leadership role in the church. Informally, their actions, my parents' actions outside the doors of the church, were shown by simply treating people around them with kindness and helping others who needed help, as well as respecting the boundaries of nature that God had provided. It was a simple, small-town existence. Fast forward, during my early adult years, much of what I learned about faith fell by the wayside as family and work took over. Yes, every time we moved, and we did move several times, we did join a new church and played small roles. However, I did not realize the importance of balancing that three-legged stool of family, work, and faith. And that took me some 30 years before I finally began to realize what was going on. This is until we settled into a smaller but growing eclectic urban Presbyterian church 25 years ago in Chicago. There I began to learn what it meant to be a faithful Christian of any denomination and acknowledge the importance of faith in my life. I was truly in my comfort zone with this church and was actively involved at all levels. This also carried forward to areas outside the church, including performing ongoing community service, volunteering with not-for-profits, and while at the same time was running a small not-for-profit property casualty insurance company, which does sound like an oxymoron, obviously. Then, some 9 years ago, along comes retirement, a move to Naples, and a search for a new church. Shared beliefs and a staff and members who had committed themselves to serve our Lord through both words and action made it easy to choose First Pres, transition from my urban environment to the larger and more traditional church. First Presbyterian Church, our church here, welcomed Holly and I with open arms, immediately encouraged our involvement in activity of the church, allowed us to nurture our faith, and helped us identify our own talents that could make a meaningful contribution to the ministry of the church. I never looked back, as I was again in my comfort zone in a church community that I cared about and I knew cared about me. In addition, I quickly connected with the meaningful sermons from Craig, Rex, Nancy, and others, and was overwhelmed by the wonderful music program thanks to a great degree to Bryce, and was amazed at the generosity of the members who shared their time, talent, and treasures with the church. First Presbyterian Church, as being an inclusive and accepting place, has been good for us and has helped me acknowledge that I continue to be blessed in so many ways. It has taught me to use and share my God-given gifts with not only the church but the community as well, including accepting others, being kind and generous, showing grace, and being a blessing to others. First Pres is a nurturing environment that enables all of us to not only grow stronger in our faith, but also encourages us to utilize our time providing service to others. For this, I thank you as leaders of the church and you as members as well, too. Thank you.